Hey, it's Jorge from brewbeerandDrinkit.com, and today what I'm going to be doing is just do a beer review of the brown porter that I brewed about 2 months ago. So I'm going to go ahead and pour, which probably should have known by now. Alright, I'm just going to do a little taster here because it's kind of early in the day and I've already had a couple while I was trying to figure out what I was going to talk about with the beer. Now, I've got a couple of the notes here since this is an actual recipe that I was really pushing to make a good recipe and maybe a beer that I would possibly be brewing. And actually what I wanted to do is create a base recipe for a porter so that in the future I can use the same recipe to brew a pumpkin porter. So I just want to brew a good porter and then just basically going to be adding the pumpkin aspect to it, only because one of my favorite beers as far as pumpkin beers goes is a local beer from Four Peaks Brewing here in Tempe, Arizona. They have a pumpkin porter, which I think is amazing. So I wanted to basically create a porter myself and add the pumpkin later to try to come up with something not necessarily similar, but I like the concept of a pumpkin porter. So my own basically version of a pumpkin porter. So anyways, here's the beer, and I've had this. I had this beer over the holidays. I had my cousins come out and try it out, my uncle and some of my family members basically, and they all seem to love the beer, and I'm actually pretty happy with it myself. So took some notes on what I was looking for when I sent out my newsletter last time and when I brewed the beer. Basically what I wanted was an actual like brown porter, very English style. And one of the things that that I know from this style is that you need to restrain any kind of accurate notes that come from your roasted malt. So any kind of roasted character that comes from a beer needs to be very subtle. And I think that's one of the key things about brewing this brown porter is that it's not like astringent, it's not very roasty like kind of beer, but you can definitely taste some of the coffee notes in here, and I can tell you the coffee notes are actually more of a secondary thing with this beer style. What actually shows up more, and one of the things I like about this beer is that it has a lot of that dark chocolate character in it. And it comes out really, really smoothly because aside from the chocolate, it has like this kind of mellow caramel toffee-like tone, and it has like a little bit of a nutty background. So I think that I hit the spot right. You know, I think I nailed down the profile as far as the malt character that I was looking for in the beer. It's a very easy to drink beer, and you know, for most people that don't like or that are afraid to drink dark beers because they're heavy, I think this is a great beer to kind of change their mind, because it's a very easy to drink beer. It's somewhat light. It's a little bit higher on the alcohol percentage compared to some of the lighter beers, but for someone that thinks that dark beers are heavy and that they're strong, this isn't exactly a strong beer. It's very easy to drink, and it's actually quite a light beer, and I've been liking it so far. So that's it for the malt side. Now, hop character, there isn't really a whole lot of hop aroma in the beer, which is basically what I wanted. And I think the English hops that I use in the quantity are just perfect to balance the malt sweetness. So the beer's not exactly bitter. It's not exactly a bitter, but it's not. It doesn't let the malt take over any kind of sweetness. So I think it's just balanced just right. So I think the hop quantities that I used are pretty much spot on. So far I'm pretty happy with the results of this beer. I like the recipe, and I think this is going to be one of those recipes that I'm going to keep. And you know, if I ever want to brew a brown porter, this will be the recipe that I would want to use. So if you watch the video, or if you haven't seen the video on how I brewed it, you know, check out the video. And if you want to use the recipe, this is one of the recipes that I can tell you for sure that it's a good recipe. It's a good beer. So I like the beer. I had good feedback from the people that I've tried it so far. So that's it. I don't think there's anything else I need to talk about the beer. So anyways, I think this is a great beer. I think I nailed it. Let me know if you brew it. I hope you like it. Cheers.